So I thought that I would start this video while I'm in this park with my dog while she looks at squirrels. It's a very important time of our day. So I'm 8 weeks out. This is my first video, my first YouTube video in like years. I think that my last one was actually a video about how I was going to do keto. And I think I was like excited about it. And now I'm like, I'll never do that again. So anyways, yeah, I'm 8 weeks out from my comeback, and I'm gonna start with a Spectrum Fitness Productions Sacramento Pro. That's gonna be a super cool show for me. Spectrum shows and Sacramento shows are really close to my heart because that's like where my team originated and some of the first shows that I did. So stepping on that stage will be really nostalgic and really special for me. So for those who don't know, I'm on Team Fit Body Fusion and I'm coached by Jami DeBernard. I have been for like 6 or 7 years now. This is the only team I've ever been a part of. And back when I decided that I wanted, or that I was even thinking about competing, I interviewed a bunch of teams and this is the team that I went with, and it's just been amazing. And I'll include a link for more info on them. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of everything that's going on, everything that I'm doing. There's going to be a full day of eating from mainly from my work day. So I do the first 3 meals at work, and then I come home, have a quick pre-workout meal, and then I have dinner. So I'll include all of that, and that I took yesterday. And that was a low carb day. That was 115 grams of carbs. And actually, I have been kind of wanting to talk about that, my low macros. This is the only thing, like, I'm like a steel cage of emotion, usually. I don't really get bothered by too much, but this is the one thing that's been bothering me a lot. To a lot of people, my macros are low. That's how prep goes for a lot of us. They have to go low. And some super lucky people get to eat a whole bunch of food, and that's great. But what has really sucked is people commenting on how low my food is. Because I'm enjoying prep, and I'm enjoying my food, and I'm not super hungry, and I'm having really good nutrient-dense meals. I feel satisfied. I'm not packing them full of a bunch of bullshit like artificial sweeteners or fiber fillers or, just like fake ass foods, basically. I'm eating a lot of like fish, chicken, eggs, rice, sweet potato, and veggies. A lot of green beans, asparagus, zucchini. And I feel really good about it. And never once was I like, nah, shit, my macros are so low. I'm going to be so hungry. How am I going to do this? I've never once thought negatively about my macros. I think just because I'm super determined to get lean. And I'm just like, at this point, I don't care. Like, drop my carbs below 100. I don't even care right now. So, but people will comment and it'll be stuff like, so what are you even eating? Or, God, I would feel like death. Or, how are you even alive? Like, shit like that. And like, some of it's actually coming from my teammates. I know that people have good intentions, and I know that people might just be a little bit shocked, but I think it's important to note that everyone's prep journey is very different, and this has taught me a valuable lesson, which is, I don't want to speak to people like that. I don't want to call their macros out like they're just awful, because I might not even know the whole story. But also, like, who gives a shit? Like, someone's macros are their own personal thing. And when someone tells me that my macros suck, I might start to think that my macros suck. So it's like, just let me be cool with this amount of carbs, rather than like, you know, hitting me with these little jabs that like my macros suck. Because I think that can really throw someone off. So if you follow me on Instagram, or if you're on my team, or if you're someone I know, just stop. Because it sucks, and it actually is like kind of hurtful, because I'm in a super good place with food. So if you tell me that what I'm doing must be just like pure death, I'm gonna not be in a good place with food anymore. So that's my little rant. But yeah, it's definitely taught me to just let someone eat their macros when I see those numbers and not comment. And if anything, the best thing to tell someone who's prepping and who's on really low macros is simply, you're doing a really good job. So maybe next time you want to tell someone that their macros are so low, maybe instead just say, damn, like, you're doing great. So that's that. So speaking of low carbs, someone on Instagram asked me to talk about beating sweet cravings when you have a low carb day. So the way that I've tackled this is, rather than be reactive and deal with sweet cravings when I get them, I took a proactive stance, and instead my tactics started months ago. They started super early, right when prep started. So, because I knew that I was going to be at risk for sweet cravings. I knew that you know, dieting puts you at risk for binging, or just going over your macros, or you know, desperately trying to fill your day with artificial sweeteners to kind of satisfy those sweet cravings. So what I tried to do, and what I actually successfully did, was I started to train my taste buds. So I started to back off of artificial sweeteners. I still use them, but I'm using them in moderation, and I don't think I'm using as much as I was before. Yeah, definitely I'm not. So there's little fixes for that. You know, doing 2 pumps of sugar-free something in my coffee rather than 4. And just taking out things like maybe like a sugar-free Jell-O, something like that. So I wanted to train my taste buds to just be cool with plain food. And that's what I did. And now it's actually worked really great. So my sweet cravings are rare. They're there because I'm a human being. And when I get them, I will have like a Diet Coke or a piece of gum, or like a cup of tea. But I'm just like not getting them. And like I mentioned, I'm on pretty low carbs. And then one other thing that I did, so proactively, at the very beginning of prep, I unfollowed all of the like foodie, food porn, dessert accounts that I was following on Instagram, because I just don't want to be distracted by it. I don't need to be looking at that stuff. I don't want to be thinking about that stuff. I don't want to be fantasizing about my post-show meal. It's like, prep is months long. Like, I don't need to be obsessing for that many months. And all of these strategies have worked really well. And really just filling my day, like I said, with nutrient-rich foods, and just making sure that I'm kind of satisfied in that way. The sweet cravings have been super few and far between, but I keep diet soda around. So I have like 6 flavors of diet soda in the house right now. I don't drink it all day, but I'll have usually 1 at night, or like a cup of tea or something. So, let's see. So I kind of told you about my macros. For cardio, I just started doing kind of a lot of cardio for me. I'm doing 3 sets of 6 sprints per week and 3 sets of steady state cardio. There's a dog coming and my dog is probably going to take off. So 3 and 3, steady state and hit 6 sprints. And then on top of that, I am lifting 6 days a week, 5 days a week, 5 days a week. My brain is like, whew, it's just started to move off to another planet. So I'm lifting 5 days a week, and then I'm also doing hot yoga. And I'm doing that 1 to 2 days a week. And it's not Bikram, but it's like heated yoga, and it's been awesome. So that's pretty much what's going on. I'm gonna do that show in 8 weeks, and then gonna do another one 2 weeks later. That's gonna be the Niagara Pro, which is here, which is super cool. It's like 20 minutes from my house, maybe. And that's it. So I'm gonna show you guys my full day of eating, and I'll show you this week's check-ins, and then and I'll show you what supplements I'm taking too, because I'm really excited that I just signed with Legion, and I'll put a code. And Legion's just been amazing. Their stuff is like super high quality. I'm really happy with them, and the team in general has been really welcoming and really helpful. So when I get home, I will show you guys which supplements I'm using. I don't use any bullshit. I don't use shit that I don't need to be using. I use few products, which I just am really enjoying right now. I'm gonna do a full day of eating from work, from my beautiful conference room here. Today is a low carb day. So my carbs are super low. They're only at 115 grams. That's the lowest they've been like ever for me. But surprisingly, I feel good. I'm not starving. I'm enjoying my food. I'm just eating super nutrient dense foods. And I've talked about this before. I'm not doing very classic IFBB diet. I'm really focusing on nutrients and eating super basic foods, which is helping a ton. It's helping me with cravings. It's helping me to feel satisfied. And it's also just like keeping my diet simpler, so I don't have to think about it as much. So it is 10:30 and I'm about to eat my first meal. What I have is an egg white scramble with spinach, pico de gallo, bell peppers, and a little bit of feta. I've been kind of moving away from the intermittent fasting model that I was using. I was starting to eat at about 12 or 1, and now I'm just trying to keep my meals a little bit smaller and more consistent throughout the day. I don't really want to just stuff myself late at night, because I want to wake up and be able to weigh myself and feel tight, and especially if I'm checking in with my coach, I don't want to be bloated and full. So I'm trying to spread my meals a little more evenly throughout the day. I'm still not like an 8 or 9 a.m. eater, and I still do want slightly bigger meals throughout the day. So I'm eating around 10:30. So this is meal number 1. Not a lot of carbs at all. I'm kind of just keeping the carbs a little bit later in the day around my training. So I did cardio this morning, and I just don't really need the carbs right now. So now this is meal number 2, and this is just like a taco salad. There's a little bit of rice, there's crock-pot chicken, which I seasoned with diced chilies, lime, garlic, and salt, pico de gallo, lettuce, and one of those little holy guacamole guac cups. So I'm gonna eat this really fast. I'm in between meetings, and then I'll eat again in a couple hours, which will be right around the time that I'm leaving work. Okay, so it is 4 o'clock. I'm gonna have meal number 3. This is kind of a bro meal. So this is, you fucking kidding me? I just dropped a piece of my sweet potato. Trying to make a stupid YouTube video. I'm so mad. Okay. Anyways. Well. That was about a half ounce of sweet potato, so I'll add something later. This, I'm not gonna tilt it. This is sweet potato, asparagus, spinach, the same shredded chicken from before, that crock pot chicken, 'and cashews. I'm fucking looking at that piece of sweet potato and I want it so bad. This is 1 cup of sweet potato, 1 cup of asparagus, 1 cup of spinach, 1 cup of chicken, 1 cup of cashews, 1 cup of shredded chicken, and cashews. I'm fucking looking at that piece of sweet potato and I want it so bad. Yeah, this is meal number 3. It's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna go home at 5. I'm gonna have a quick pre-workout meal around 6, and that'll be super simple, like tuna, chicken, rice cakes, and then I'll go train. So this kind of simple meal, I'm doing a lot more of this prep. Like I said, I'm kind of getting away from trying to just fit all the fun foods into my diet. When I eat like this, I feel better, I look better, I'm less obsessed with food, so it's good for my mental state as well. These meals have just been good for me. So as I get closer to my show, I'm transitioning more and more to these types of meals. It's a lot of foods that don't have a label. And actually Paul Ravella released a really good video on how food labels can actually be way off. So, and I have no room for error right now. So that's another reason to get rid of food with labels. And then also just transitioning to more whole foods, which are a lot more satisfying. And I'm just trying to have less fun with my food, which sounds kind of silly, but the more I try to have fun with food, the more I'm overcomplicating it. I'm introducing too many foods. I'm just kind of all over the place with my nutrition. This keeps it simple, keeps me looking tight, keeps me feeling good. So yeah, that's meal number 3. And I'm gonna go cry over my sweet potato. Yeah, you can be in it too if you want. Get in the video. Andy's watching wrestling while I make my meal number 4. It is 6:15 and this is my pre-workout meal. Hey, Zelda. I'm gonna do 3.4 ounces of chicken breast and 2.8 ounces of white rice, and that's it. I'm keeping the fats really low. Oh, there he is. He's eating trail mix.
This is my post-work. If you guys are wondering, this is my pre-workout.
It's his pre-workout.
Orchard mix Wegmans.
I was like, I don't want to eat all that fat before my workout. So yeah, I'm keeping my meal lower fat, easier to digest, and also low fiber. So just chicken and rice. And then him and I are both gonna have some of this Legion stim-free pre-workout. So there's no caffeine in it, but you still get all the benefits of pre-workout. And by the time I post this video, I will have announced that I'm working with them. So now I have promo code and all that good stuff. And you can also say hi to Zelda. Minnie Mouse, look. Oh, hi. So then what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. We went to the gym, and now my last meal is quinoa flakes, which is kind of like oatmeal, but it's quinoa. It's really good, and it has a lot of volume. And I put egg whites and then a whole egg on top. And now we're gonna watch Friends. Okay, so I'm gonna run through really quickly my supplements since I just signed with Legion. So just gonna show you what I'm using. I will put my code below for 10% off. It's just code HANA, and their website is legionathletics.com. So this is what I'm loving right now. So let's start with whey, and this is the cereal milk flavor, super delicious. 2 different pre-workouts. So we've been lifting either in the morning or at night, so depending on when we work out. I will use Pulse with caffeine, or there's also a stim-free Pulse. So you can use this at night. You'll still get the benefits of a pre-workout, but then you can actually sleep. Speaking of sleep, this is Lunar, and this is a sleep aid. It has melatonin and a couple other things in it, and it kind of tastes like tea, right? Like iced tea.
Kind of tastes like Nest tea.
It is awesome. I've been sleeping really good, and most importantly, I've been waking up feeling really good. So it doesn't just knock you out and then you're like drowsy the next day, but you actually feel great. This is my creatine. It is called Recharge, and you're supposed to do it right after lifting. I'll kind of just drink it whenever during the day. But it has creatine and L-carnitine in it. I've been using creatine, but just like plain unflavored generic ones. But now I have a strawberry lemonade flavored one. And this is 5 grams of creatine, which is the dose that I've been doing for a while. I'll get to this one. And then this is Fortify for joints. So the cool thing about this is that when I looked at the ingredients, these were all things that I was taking separately. So I had like all these different bottles because it's like turmeric and boswellia, or however you say that. Boswellia. Collagen. So all these really good things, but now I can just take them in one pill. So that's kind of nice. And then this one I actually just messed with. This is called Forge. And I just messed with this for the first time today. So this is a pre-workout fat burner. And the way that Miles from Legion kind of put it was that it's pretty much just going to make you sweat. So it's really good before cardio, and might not be the best pre-workout before lifting. That's when I would do pulse. But this, I actually used this morning before hot yoga, because in hot yoga, sometimes I don't really sweat as much as I want to. I'll just kind of I'll glow a little bit. But today I really wanted to sweat and drop a little bit of water. So I took this and I was definitely dripping sweat, and I felt really good during yoga. I had energy and I was able to flow through positions and feel really good. So that's everything I'm using from Legion. I love them so far. Everything is backed by science. The team is great. They've been super helpful. So I'm excited to be with them.